There is a very specific, quiet frustration that happens to a lot of people in their late 20s, 30s, and 40s. You do everything you were supposed to do. You got the degree. You navigated the entry-level jobs. You finally reached a salary that 10 years ago you would have considered rich. Maybe it's $70,000, $90,000, or even $120,000 or euros a year. By all historical metrics, you are in the top tier of global earners. Yet, when you look at your bank account on the 28th of the month, you feel a lingering sense of anxiety. You are making good money, but you feel completely financially behind. You aren't alone in this. In fact, this is the default state for the modern working professional in the United States and Europe. But the reason you feel this way has very little to do with inflation, and even less to do with how many coffees you buy. It has to do with a systemic trap that is designed to capture high earners before they ever have the chance to build actual wealth. To understand how this happens, we need to look at the math behind a totally normal, completely average lifestyle. Imagine a professional. Let's say they earn $90,000 a year. On paper, they have made it, but paper is not reality. Once we account for federal taxes, state taxes, Social Security, and perhaps a basic healthcare premium, that $90,000 shrinks incredibly fast. The actual take-home pay is closer to $5,500 a month. Now, let's look at the baseline cost of participating in modern middle-class society. A standard 1- or 2-bedroom apartment in a decent area of a major city is going to cost roughly $2,000. We aren't talking about luxury penthouses. We are talking about a safe, average place to live. Next is the car. Society tells us that once you get a good job, you need a reliable, respectable car to commute to that job. So, our professional finances a modest $35,000 vehicle. The monthly payment is around $600. Add in insurance and gas, and transportation is suddenly costing $800 a month. Then we have student loans, the debt required to get the $90,000 job in the first place. That's another $400. Add groceries, basic utilities, and a phone bill, and we're looking at another $1,000. Before this person has bought a single item of clothing, gone to a single dinner, or taken a single vacation, they have spent $4,200. They have $1,300 left. This is where the psychological friction begins. Our professional works 40 to 50 hours a week. They're tired. They feel they deserve to enjoy the money they work so hard for. So they go out for drinks with friends. They buy a flight to a friend's wedding. They put a new laptop on a credit card because the monthly payment is only $40. They subscribe to 4 different streaming services. By the end of the month, the $5,500 is gone. Often, it was gone by the 20th. The hidden financial mistake here isn't extravagance, it is the normalization of the monthly payment. We have been conditioned to view our finances through the lens of cash flow rather than net worth. When you go to buy a car, the dealership rarely focuses on the total price, they focus on the monthly payment. When you buy a phone, you don't pay $1,000, you pay $30 a month. Our entire consumer economy is optimized to break massive, wealth-destroying purchases into tiny, digestible chunks of monthly payment. Let's look at the simple math of that car to understand the real cost. You finance a $35,000 car at a standard 7% interest rate over 5 years. Because the monthly payment of $690 fits into your budget, it feels affordable. But over those 5 years, you will pay almost $6,600 in pure interest to the bank. Meanwhile, the car is depreciating. After 5 years, that vehicle is realistically worth about $15,000. You spent over $41,000 to acquire an asset that is now worth $15,000. You effectively burned $26,000 of your future wealth just to look like someone who makes $90,000 a year. Multiply this behavior across credit cards, furniture financing, and lifestyle inflation, and you begin to see why people earning 6 figures are living paycheck to paycheck. The psychological reason we fall into this trap is rooted in how we measure status. Human beings are intensely social creatures. We subconsciously anchor our lifestyle expectations to the people around us. If your colleagues drive newer cars, take trips to Europe, and live in luxury apartment complexes, your brain recalibrates. Those things no longer feel like luxuries, they feel like the baseline. They feel like the bare minimum required to fit in with your peer group. This leads to the most dangerous financial psychological phenomenon of all: earning the right to spend. When you get a raise or a new job, the immediate psychological response is not, "I can finally secure my future." The response is, "I can finally afford the lifestyle I have been waiting for." You upgrade your apartment. You trade in the car for a slightly nicer one. You stop looking at prices on menus. Your income went up, but your fixed costs went up by the exact same amount. You are running faster on the treadmill, but you are still in the exact same place. If this cycle is ignored, the long-term impact is a very comfortable, very stressful form of financial fragility. You will spend 20 years making fantastic money, surrounded by nice things, but you will have absolutely no freedom. You will be entirely dependent on the next paycheck to service the debt and maintain the illusion of the lifestyle. If the job disappears or the economy shifts, the entire structure collapses within 60 days. So, how do we break this? How do financially intelligent people actually think and behave differently? It starts with a fundamental shift in perspective. Financially intelligent people do not view a high income as a license to consume. They view a high income as a tool to buy back their own time. They decouple their lifestyle from their salary. When they get a promotion, they do not view it as an opportunity to increase their fixed costs. They view it as an opportunity to widen the gap between what they earn and what they spend. That gap is the only place where wealth is actually created. Instead of asking, "Can I afford the monthly payment on this?" they ask, "How much of my future freedom am I trading for this object right now?" Financially intelligent people understand that true wealth is entirely invisible. It is the car you didn't buy. It is the watch you didn't put on a credit card. It is the money sitting quietly in an index fund, compounding over time. They are perfectly comfortable driving a 5-year-old car while earning a 6-figure salary because they understand that looking wealthy and actually being wealthy are two entirely different and often mutually exclusive things. They reject the societal default. They accept the slight, temporary discomfort of not having the newest or the best in exchange for the permanent comfort of knowing they are financially bulletproof. If you are making good money but feeling behind, you do not need to feel guilty. You have simply been playing the game exactly as it was designed to be played by a consumer-driven economy. But now that you see the mechanics of the game, you have the choice to stop playing it. You can choose to stop financing your lifestyle, start protecting the gap between your income and your expenses, and begin using your salary to actually buy your freedom. It won't be glamorous, it won't happen overnight, but it is the only mathematical reality that leads to long-term peace of mind. If you found this perspective useful, consider subscribing to the channel. We explore the reality of money and human behavior here every week. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.